Hello everyone, welcome to week 5. So this is your overview for the week. So big point of week 5 is getting chapters 1 and chapters 2 submitted for, I've called it the semifinal with those of you that I've met with, and then looking into IRB in chapter 3. So week 5 in the reading expectations, you'll see from the Hendricks text that chapter 4 review for the initial planning of action research is just there as that reminder for you. But then getting into chapter 5, looking at the data collection and thinking about what your teams will be doing for data collection. The learning module is talking about being able to track data components and statistics. You're also going to see that there's an IRB training video, as we're shooting to get that done by the end of week 6, no later than week 8. Week 5 discussion board is about your data collection and getting more specific to a survey component, like what questions are you going to ask on a survey to gain information. Think of it like an interview question, open-ended question, Likert question. Big point, the reminder that you'll see when you look at the discussion board is knowing that if you plan on doing something with an electronic survey like a SurveyMonkey or a Google form, IRB is going to want that website to be able to see what that's going to look like. So just getting into discussion week 5 is really more specific about the survey. So each partner is asked to sort of help break up the survey with some questions, and 2 questions from each of the partnerships. Each person will post 2 questions to get people to reflect on it as we go through. Then what's due at the end of this week, and that we've talked about before, is your chapter 1. Chapter 1 is a group submit. It's something that you've worked on together, as well as chapter 2 is assignment number 5. And that again is a group submit where you've put together your chapters 2 components from your lit review from each partner that have been reviewed by peers, and put it together to submit for one group submission for chapter 2. And then that reminder of looking ahead is going in, understanding that we're going to be going into chapter 3. So I want to pull up a couple different components to remind you for chapter 1. So chapter 1, I'm in right now looking at the template that's been provided in the capstone resources. Chapter 1 is going to be the discussion of the problem, the whole purpose of the study, as well as definition of terms. So that problem is going to be that here's the introduction to why we're doing the research we want to do. What's the challenges you're facing? Give some background information. And then the purpose of the study gets into here's what we're expecting to find from it. Really almost giving a prediction of what you're hoping to get from the action research that you do. Both in the problem and the purpose of the study, don't be afraid to bring in research that supports both those areas. And then the last component of purpose of study is it gets into your research questions, and then from there you move into the definition of terms. Again, not looking to define everything, but defining those key phrases, key terms that are going to be throughout your study. You do want to back yourself with what research is defining those, as well as making your final definition, but having it supported with research. So that's chapter 1, that overview. And then chapter 2 just starts like it looks here, review of literature, and then you'll break it up with your different headings, which we've already talked about for chapter 2. The other thing I want to remind you on as you're thinking about chapter 1 is looking at your capstone research rubric and just looking at how it breaks it down, talking about your problem and your purpose and your definition of terms. So really go through that and make sure that you're addressing it as a group together to ensure that you're meeting all those expectations. And then looking at the chapter 2 rubric again, go through each of those points. As always, if you have any questions or clarification that you need, or comments, or just need somebody to be reflective with you on, don't hesitate to call me, email, text me. That assignment 4, assignment 5 is due at the end of the week. Have a great week. God bless.